Oh, I wore a shirt for you.
Hey, yeah. I wore my favorite shirt too, man. You got, that's not fair though. You got those.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Rainy Nights, this segment of my YouTube channel where I interview other motovloggers and motorcycle personalities. If you haven't been here before, I am Rainy Rider. I ride a 2019 BMW Grand America and a 2021 Harley Sportster. Feel free to give the channel a like and a subscribe. Tonight we have JD and the Possum Queen. You guys want to say hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
All right, so I've been following you guys for a while, and Ashley, I got questions for you later because we're going to swap recipes. But,
Can't wait.
All right, so let's kick this off. Where are you from and what do you ride?
I'm from town outside of, and I ride 2011.
Okay, your voice is your sound is starting to break up.
It's storming pretty fast.
That might be what it is. Well, we'll do our best.
I ride at 11.
Okay, we're starting to lose your volume. All right, Dry Heat Doug. Who can you hear? Can you hear me or can you? Let's see. Let's try to get our volume up here. All right, we got our volume up as high as we can go. I think I've lost them again. So they're having storms where they are. Sorry, guys. It's
Is this better?
Let's see if I can get everybody's volumes up a little bit.
Is this better?
All right, how's that?
Is that better?
I think so. All right, so how long have you been riding?
I started, I think, 10, 9, somewhere.
All right, yeah, the volume is starting to drip. Starting to lose volume. Are you watching it on? You watching YouTube or just working off your phone?
Just working on my phone. You want me to put on YouTube?
Do you have like a Bluetooth set, or no? It's fine. You have like a Bluetooth headset or a microphone or something you could use.
Yeah. Give me
Try that. Sorry, guys, we're gonna work this out. It's a work in progress. So I had technical difficulties when we first got on, and then now we're just having some sound projects. We're getting there. We're all getting there.
We've got a microphone or two laying around.
I can hear you fine.
I wonder why you can't hear Josh.
I don't know. Maybe he might be a little too close. It might be echoing.
Really? He does have a big booming voice sometimes.
Can everybody else hear him fine?
They said they can hear me fine.
They hear you fine?
They can hear me fine.
And I can hear him fine now.
I think they just like you better.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Okay, he might have been just too close to the microphone or something. Hang with us, guys. We're getting this. We'll get this straight.
Is that better?
No, because they're Bluetooth.
Is that better?
I can hear you fine now.
Great.
Okay. So how long have you been riding?
I've been riding since I was about 9 or 10, dirt bikes and stuff.
So probably 30 years.
Yeah, 30-something years. How long have you been riding?
Well, I really started riding regularly when we got married, but I started solo riding about 2 years ago, right before COVID hit.
So what do you ride?
I got a Harley Davidson Nightster. What model is it?
It was an 08.
Oh, wait.
But
I sold it.
we just sold it like just the other day, basically, because she's ready to move up.
Right on. Dry Heat Doug
Yes.
says, me and you need to shut up and just let her talk.
Uh,
Okay.
Story of my life, man.
All right. So, how did you get into motorcycles? You said you started when you were 8 or 9. What did you start on?
It was actually a Harley. It's like a dirt bike.
Mhm.
I don't. They wasn't very popular. They were like little two-stroke dirt bikes, you know. Like they were kind of tall, almost the size of a CR 125, you know. And it was a pile of junk, man. Breaking down all the time, just horrible bike. And then it was moved from that to a CB 360.
Nice. So, how about you? How did you get into it? You weren't a rider when you got with him, and then you decided I'm gonna get on a motorcycle now.
Yeah, pretty much. My uncles had motorcycles growing up, but I would, as I got to be a teenager, they would take me for rides and stuff. But then I fell in love with a motorcycle man. The rest is history after that.
Right on. So, when did you decide? I know you started when you were 8 or 9, but when did you decide motorcycling is for me and I will never give it up?
I think I was the first, you know, most people when they turn 16, they drive a car the first time, experience that freedom. I was like 14. I got to drive down the road on a motorcycle and I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to keep going. And I remember being addicted to that alone feeling, you know?
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. There's many times I went out for gas and came back 3 hours later,
Yeah.
and then had to
I
stop for
still,
gas again on the way home.
I still do that.
So, you consider yourself a fair weather rider or a rough rider?
I'm a rough rider.
I'm definitely fair weather. Like I get sunburn if I'm outside too long, so I only ride in the mildest of conditions.
I
Right
mean, I
on.
won't like go get groceries if it's pouring, you know, but I will like if I'm in it,
Yeah.
I'll read it. Don't bother me.
Oh yeah. 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 I'm not the one that'll jump up. Oh look, it's raining. I better go ride. If
Yeah,
it's
I'm
if it's
not that
raining,
guy.
I think there's something, and we've talked about it with other people. There's something therapeutic about riding in the rain.
Yeah,
As long
there
as you're not
is.
getting drowned out. I mean, as long as you're
Yeah.
not gonna get washed off the road, there's something cool to it.
Or if it becomes dangerous, you know, where it's. We rode through a hurricane. I rode through a hurricane one time. That was,
It was pretty sketchy.
yeah, that was sketchy.
Right on. So, who inspires you to ride? When days that you normally wouldn't ride, what inspires you to get out and take the bike?
Oh man, everything that goes wrong, all the problems. Yeah, dude, the bike ride is it, man. It's better than therapy, you know.
Oh yeah, I just made a video about that. We'll
Yep,
touch that later. But yeah, it is. I mean, it's like there's days when
yep,
everything's bothering you. I think sometimes, like, I always ride to work, and no matter what's bothering me, I think that ride on the bike, just coming home from work, just washes it all
Mm,
away.
yep.
it
Just
really
makes it
does.
better. So, would you rather a solo ride or a group ride?
I'm definitely a solo rider. I just like to go ride by myself, 20 or 30 minutes and come home. It's like we're saying, it's a good time to decompress.
No, absolutely.
I'm probably more of a solo rider too. I like group rides, but most of the time I find myself in them. I don't quite know all the people well enough to like.
Just to go
Not that
half.
they're bad riders or anything. I just worry too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm the same way. I mean, just if it's people I trust, I don't mind being
Yeah,
out with 4 or 5 people, 5 or 6 people. But it's when it's with big groups, I always ride in the very back, and I try to stay away from everybody as far as I can.
me too.
Mhm.
All right, we're getting questions in the comments now. So, do you have any future riding trips, meetups, or gigs?
Uh, I went to Forgotten Angels this past March on a whim. Like I made that decision like 3 days before we
Mhm.
went,
Yeah.
and I just took off. So I don't. We have 4 children. I know a lot of people don't know that, but we most everything we do is on a whim. There's no plans to
We don't make plans
for
'cause
kids, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't have any right now, no. But we do. We play in a band, which you probably know, and so we kind of we have certain gigs every year that we like car shows and stuff that we play that we love. playing and doing. And their charity, we have charity things we play. And those are really the only things we have set in stone. Everything outside of that, we just kind of do it week by week, you know.
Right on. That's a good way to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes that's probably the most enjoyable trips. It's like you just decide I'm going somewhere, and you just
Yeah.
take off.
When I went to Forgotten Angels, man, I didn't have. I don't want to say I didn't have high hopes because I thought I'd meet some cool people, but I had no plans. Like I just went down there, you know, and it ended up being one of the coolest things I've done in my riding kind of career, you know.
I planned it. I planned it every year, and it's still the coolest thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awesome to go. There are stories about people who have stopped on the way down, stopped at a gas station, and another biker asked him, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm going down to Florida." "What's down there?" "Forgotten Angels." "Oh, do you have to get a ticket?"
Go
He's like,
we.
"Nope, follow me there. Let's go." And people have followed other people down and just got there, went to Walmart, got a tent, camped out, had fun for the weekend. Because it's just that
I
kind of
met
place.
I met a fellow YouTuber through videos and music. He was and we were talking. He's like, "Do you know about Forgotten Angels?" I said, "Yeah, I think I've heard. You know, I've watched Shade Tree and all them." I was like, "Yeah, I've heard about it." He's like, "You should go. I'll be there." And I was like, "Okay." And it was like 3 days before the camp out,
Hell yeah. Who
or
was that?
before I went to it.
Was it Randall?
No, it's Andy Curry. I don't know if you know him, but
I've seen
he's
his name on the streams, and he's in the Discord. But
yeah,
I
he's a
haven't got
really
to talk to him directly.
cool guy. I think he works at at the bar with Josh or something like that, or worked at the bar with Josh or something.
Right on.
So but we just happened to meet, man, and he invited me, and I just took off. So that was really how I found my way down there.
Yep. Juice says Forgotten Angels is our adult version of summer camp, except all the counselors are drunk.
It was me and Ash don't have a lot of family, so man, being down there and seeing all that, and that was the coolest part about that is the way they treat you like your family. You know,
Oh yeah, once you're there, that's big, and that's what this last one was. It was the family reunion because it was
Yep.
like little everybody. First time I went, I was looking forward to meeting Shade Tree and some of the other big personalities. Now I go to meet everybody there because every time I go, I make more friends, and it
Yeah.
just is just absolutely cool. So
Yep.
it is. It's a big family reunion. It is, and it just gets bigger every year. It's kind of crazy. Met you guys there this time.
Yeah.
So
Well, you
you're
met
part of our
me.
family.
Yeah, no doubt. I
That you
remember
got a
when
sticker. Your
I
sticker
think I
is on
was
the
hanging
Harley.
out with Saddle Trent when you come up.
Nope. I put yours on the Harley, so yours is on the Harley outside.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So
I got I checked my mail late last night. I got some more of yours too.
did you? What else
Yeah, I
did you
got those
get?
grips last night.
Very cool. Yeah, I can't
You
remember
should
who
be
told
getting
me.
a package. You should be getting a package from me soon.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, I'm getting no spoilers. I'm gonna put that in as a short, or I might put it in one of the big videos. So yes, he did send me something, and I'm excited. It's gonna go up in the studio right behind me. It will be very cool.
It is cool.
So thanks in advance for that.
Yeah, thank you.
If anybody's got any questions, just put them in the comments, and make sure you highlight my name or highlight my name. He's not monitoring on YouTube, but I will relay the question to him. So, do you do many moto meetups? If you do, what is your favorite one?
Done quite a few, like no, I don't know if you call them meetups, like Daytona Bike Week, and I've done a few like friends getting together to go ride the Dragon or the Cherahalla or something like that. My favorite, hands down, was Forgotten Angels.
Right
Like
on.
hands down, like it was the best one. I mean, my neighbor, he might watch this, so he might get a little upset because he's the one I go to all the other ones with. But he's awesome. But it was just Forgotten Angels was different, man. Everybody down there's kind of I don't want to call it you don't. It seemed like I've always felt like I didn't fit in at Daytona Bike Week or any of those other places, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go down there, you fit in, and I don't know what you'd call that, but it's fun, you know.
It's the same for me. I've gone to the Honda Hoot. I've gone to Little Sturgis in Kentucky, and like you go there with like 4 or 5 people, and when you leave,
Yeah.
you know those people. That's all you know because nobody else really wants to talk to you. They don't. If they say hi, that's it. You don't actually get to meet them. every time I go, I leave with 50 more friends, and that's not even an exaggeration. Every time I go,
Yep.
I meet 50 more people, and I come home with more YouTube channels to watch and more Instagrams to watch, and people in the Discord. You're in the Discord now, so just
Yeah.
I'm sure you've like made tons of friends just in there because that's just the way it
Oh,
happens.
yeah.
And people get
Yeah.
interested in your life and they ask about you and they ask about the things you're doing and they're excited about your projects. So it's great. I can't say enough about it.
It is, man. You don't meet, like, especially like Daytona and stuff. But like you said, when you go ride the dragon, you go with your friends, and those are pretty much who you meet down there. Even though you might see 200 bikes, you're not gonna. No one's there to talk, So you
They
go
may
down
wave
there and
at you, but that's it.
yeah, you go down there and your family does.
Absolutely.
And that was cool. That was the coolest part about that to me.
Very cool. So she get to go next time? You gonna ride down next
Yep.
time, lady?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Well, we'll probably bring the kids, and I'll have my tank that I.
Well, our children are kind of getting older and they're teenagers and stuff now, so it's we're kind of getting in that state where we can go do stuff like that, even with them,
Yeah.
Because there were kids down there at FA, that was just there were all kinds of people down there. It's really no different than it is at our house on the weekend, like you might see all kinds of people here playing music or hanging out,
Usually
It felt like home to me.
Yeah, usually they try to get the kids back by like 8 or 9. They get the kids put down where we can actually get more adulty. This time it was a little weird because some of the kids stayed up later, so we had to hold our crazy stuff off a little bit. But it was still pretty great, and they made allotments for the kids. I mean, kids are family. I mean, we try to make it where it's kid friendly, but it gets a little more rowdier at night. But they try to hold it back. But,
yeah, we're already planning how we're going to do it, but we're hooked for life, I would say.
Yeah, I can't wait to go down there in October.
Right on. Yeah, Doug, I'm turned all the way up. I think my microphone's starting to die. I will probably have to get a new microphone, but hopefully everybody can hear me good enough. I don't want to start screaming, but yeah, I probably need to get a new microphone in the future. So that's something I'll work on. So you said you do a lot of impromptu rides. What's the best or coolest impromptu ride you've done that you just decided to just go somewhere and all of a sudden it turned into something bigger?
Me by myself, I took off one time and got lost in Mississippi, and like camping on the side of the road and stuff, just weird, pulling off in the woods and stuff. But me and her took off one time and went to Memphis the first night. It was just a weekend for him, but we went to Memphis first night, down through Texas, and then down the coast back up to home. That was probably the funnest.
That was the funnest.
Yeah. I will say, if anybody's having problems hearing me, make sure that if you've got the Bluetooth in or the earphones, you got both of them in, because these microphones only broadcast, I think, on the left channel. So make sure you got both the earbuds in if you're listening on a bud system. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Everybody keeps saying in the chat that some people can't hear me. Some people say they hear me perfectly. Some people say they can't hear me at all. So I think that's the thing. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. But that's the funnest. That's regular occurrence for us. We loaded up and just went to the beach like on a whim on a Friday, for a week. It's not the best financial decision to make because you don't get good rates or nothing like that. But we've done that quite a bit. We love doing that. That's probably our favorite.
Yeah, spontaneity. Just go pack a bag and get in the car.
We decided to go for an overnight trip to, I think we were going to Ohio overnight when we lived in St. Louis, and we came back 7 days later.
Oh, yeah. That's
we went to go to, I wanted to go to the AMA Museum, and then like halfway there we decided we were going to go to Kings Island. And then we went to Kings Island, went to the AMA Museum, and then we decided to go down to Kentucky, go to some other little carnival that was going on, some other little amusement park, and we ended up coming back 7 days later. So it was awesome.
We did that a few weeks ago. A month ago, we went to Clarksville.
Yeah.
Yeah. We heard about that shack up in down there. Yeah, I think Mississippi, so I'm sure you know where it's at. But anyway, we just took off to go see all that being musicians. They're like, "Oh, I'm gonna see the Crossroads." Then you get down there and they're like, "Crossroads are fake." That's all. And it was just anyway. That's what a local lady told us, but she She said they're everywhere you think they are, and everywhere you went, they said that was the real crossroads, and all this stuff. But
there is
it
one
was a
that they
fun
say,
picture.
so it's in Clarksville, and they say that there's one that they do know that's probably the one. But then they've got the guitars set up in town, obviously, because that's where the
Yeah,
hotels are and the bars and and the music places. It's cool to go. They've got a lot of antique stuff, rustic stuff set up. They've got two hotels there that are set up like they're still in the 20s, and they're made to look like they're clapboard and tin roof and tin
yeah.
walls, and it's made to look really raggedy, but it's actually a really cool place.
That's where we
That's
stay.
the shack up in was where we
Yeah.
stayed. But that was just the coolest trip. That was good for us. Just as a couple. I really enjoyed that trip.
Nothing at random wants to know what's your favorite tattoo you've gotten.
Dude, I can't show it. No, I'm just playing. This one inside my arm.
Right on.
That's my favorite one. It's my daughter, and I've got two sleeves. One's kind of demons and one's angels, and the whole angels are all family, and my girl, my boy, and my wife, and all that.
Oh, nice.
So this probably any tattoo on this arm would probably be my favorite.
Right on. I've got this is one of my daughter's tattoo. This is her arm, and this is the tattoo she's picked, and this is my other daughter.
Yeah.
So she's got my youngest daughter, the 16-year-old, needs to pick more for this arm because I say this one is the oldest daughter and this is the youngest daughter. So they get to this is their arms. So and
She's
this is
getting
another
some.
tattoo my daughter picked for me, the oldest daughter.
That's
She
beautiful.
picked all
That's really
these.
cool.
Yeah, she is an EMT now, and she set it on her own, so she got a compass to kind of direct her through life. So we got matching tattoos.
Yeah.
It was very neat.
I got this big eagle on my chest. You could probably see a little bit of, but that one was, if you want to know the most painful, the tail goes down in my stomach. Oh, man. Oh, I thought I was going to die. Oh, that was the worst one.
Yep. I got one on my rib cage right here, and it is the most painful one. It took 4 hours, and it hurt to breathe. And, like, a tattoo usually, a few days later, it feels like a sunburn, and then it fades into nothing, and every once in a while, the itch. This thing, for 3 weeks straight, I didn't want to breathe. I didn't want to move. It was like, this sucks.
I've heard a lot of people say that about their ribs.
It was horrible.
Oh.
Yep. Buck Brown says his favorite tattoo is his next one.
That's the truth. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, what is the stupidest thing you have ever done on a motorcycle?
What's yours? You got one?
Yeah. This right after I started learning to drive, and there's alleyways between houses here, and they're gravel, and I went in a little too hard.
Yeah.
The bike come over under me. It's pretty scary.
I think I was 18, 17.
Mm-hmm.
I was thought they had dumped a big load of gravel in my friend's yard. It was like 8 foot high, and I thought it was a good idea to jump it from the dirt bike. And dude, I got messed up with that one. Broke a bone, like all kinds. Messed up the bike, all kinds of stuff. And then I figured out that's when I stopped riding dirt bikes. Just started riding street bikes, mainly any kind of bike that I could get my hands on at that time.
I skipped Ashley about her tattoo. What's your favorite tattoo?
Oh yeah, Ashley's got some cool.
Probably this one. It's a Madonna, and she's nursing, and there's flowers around her.
Nice.
It was my kids' birth flowers for the month they were born.
I did that one. The little
Josh done on my
mushroom.
Nice.
I used to do We've got
a gun, and we have tequila sometimes. So
I did a little bit of apprenticing one time, tattooing, because I was into it, and I figured out it really wasn't for me. But I didn't know how to put them. I just don't like to.
Dry Heat Doug has a question for you. Have you ever had a tune stolen by a top artist or a musician or anyone?
I haven't had one stolen. I have had them. I've had quite a few people. I think they're scams though, but like reach out and ask,
Mm-hmm.
use one of your. I don't know if it's a scam or not, but it's kind of like those girls on Instagram that think you're so good looking. It's like I feel like it's like that, but I've been reached out a lot about it, but I haven't had. I don't not that I know of. You know what I mean?
Some of those Instagram girls get very entertaining. It's like looking
Dude,
for
it's
serious relationship, serious guy only. Click below to see my ass tats. And it's okay. Okay.
dude. I think we're me and you are friends on Facebook, so you
Yeah.
probably already know this. But I love messing with those people.
Dude,
We
some
have
of
a
them are
lot of
true.
fun with that.
Yeah.
I have learned, and somebody told me you can't tell if they're real or not, and so somebody told me to ask them about potatoes, and if they can't answer if it's a bot, they just keep asking the same question over and over again.
Yeah,
So
well,
you ask
that
them, "What's
makes
your favorite
sense.
kind of potato?" Say potato. Do you like potatoes? And they don't know how to answer, and they just start repeating all the questions over and over and over again because it like
Dude,
messes up
yeah,
the.
I'll try
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty crazy. So
It's amazing.
anyway,
It's amazing how many of us, all of us older gentlemen that are well past our prime, are good looking to them people now.
I know we're so interesting to them. They tell us how interesting we are. Oh, I just saw your latest pictures. You're so interesting. Send me $10 for my internet.
Yep.
And that's when you can tell they're from Africa or from Europe. When they ask, I need to pay my internet card.
Yeah.
Can you send me money where I can continue to talk to you? Like, come on.
Yeah. One guy did send pictures. Or I posted a picture of me and Ash or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked. He was like, "I want. Does she have? It was something stupid like, Does she have feet?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was trying to buy pictures of her. I guess I was like, "Man, you are so weird."
Sorry, she was born without feet.
Like what? It's random. Like it's you can tell their English is very broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very weird. Let's see. So that's the stupidest moment on a bike. What was your scariest moment on a bike?
Oh, probably riding into that hurricane.
Yeah. We were on a family trip to St. Augustine, and I had the kids in the car, and Josh was riding the motorcycle, and you couldn't see the road at all, and it was dark night, and it was really scary. We had to pull over and like get a hotel room, and that was not part of the trip.
Yeah. Well, we had to find the hotel that we could get to first, and then we got caught in the first of the storm in Birmingham. And I think the first hotel we found where we could have room in Montgomery, and that's not crazy far if you're thinking of it in good weather. But if it's like every time I put my feet down at the red light, the water would come over like up to my ankle,
Yep.
So that's scary on a bike, So that was probably the scariest trip I ever had on a motorcycle.
Yep. Birmingham is probably the worst rain I ever drove through. It was, which one was it? March. So it was March last year. We were coming back, and there were hurricanes coming in. And when I had my wife on the back, we're coming back from Forgotten Angels actually, and there's a tornado on this side, and there's a tornado on this side, and you could actually see them. And the rain all of a sudden got so hard I couldn't see, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll try to pull over on the side of the road. And when I pulled over, the water was even worse, and trucks were flying by, just throwing water everywhere. And I'm like, well, I guess the safest thing to do is just follow these trucks. So I got behind the truck and followed it all the way because that was the only way to stay out of the water. Because the rain was actually less when I was moving than it was when I was standing still.
Yeah.
So you get behind a truck and they just take all the pressure off of you. So it was actually better moving with a truck. So
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
We got to the hotel and just hung out for
probably 4 hours, just waiting.
Off, and then we went on down to St. Augustine. Once we hit Florida, it was blue skies. It was weird, I guess the storm had moved out.
It's always that way. We go to Forgotten Angels. It's cold until we hit the Florida line. As soon as we stop at the Welcome Center, all of a sudden the temperature goes up 20 degrees.
Yep.
I think they pay for good weather down there.
Yeah, they definitely got their share.
So Ashley, what about you? What was your scariest moment on a bike?
When I was first learning, I took the Harley Davidson rider course, and I somehow flipped a bike there. That they had to get me a new one, but that was definitely. It was just during one of the exercises, and it scared the shit out of me. And they had to get me a new bike and everything. Well, it wasn't my bike, but it didn't stop me. I still finished the course and everything. There was a bunch of people that flunked out.
What kind of bike was it?
It was one of them, not a Sportster. It was
like a street bob or something.
Was it a Street 750?
The Street 750. Yeah.
I think the governor's on them and everything.
Yeah, but I want to say it was smaller than 750, but I think it was 750.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had 500s and 750s they used for their courses.
I think it was the 500 then.
So that's actually
I remember
impressive.
they were
Good job.
Yeah, we took it for insurance because we knew we had teenage girls coming up with like, hey man, like this might be, and it does help on our insurance, but it's also a good way to get into it's a good thing to take either way you go.
Yeah, it just taught me how to. They're very thorough. I guess that's the best way to put it. From beginner riders to anybody that's advanced, you can always take something away from that class.
Being in the military, I had to take it every 3 years to ride on base.
Cool.
And every time I took it, you learned something different, or they would change the way they taught. Like the first time I took it, they said, whenever you stop, put both feet down. And the next time I took it, they said you leave your right foot up on the brake and you put your left foot down. The next time I took it, they were back to no, put both feet down. And you come to a stop, put both feet down. It's like, so my daughter's taking driver's ed now, and I tell her, no matter what you do, as long as you're being safe, keep doing it. But during the course, do whatever the instructor tells you to do.
Yeah, that's what we told.
But you do pick
our
up
daughter took
things.
the course too. She was riding a moped, which it's fine, but around town they people don't look for those either, so it's good for her to know all those things.
Put lights all over it. Put every light you possibly can on it.
We did. We've had some stories with the moped too. Me and Allie like to ride it around town, pull up to the guys on Harleys. Even though I ride a Harley, so don't get mad at me if you are a Harley guy. But we would pull up to him and say, "Nice Honda, man." It's so mad because I'm on a moped.
I have everything. I have a Harley and a BMW. I mean, it's like, and I've rode everything. So
I love them all, man. I'm not a snob.
Like it, yeah.
No, I'm not a snob. Denio.
So we'll let Ashley go first this time. What has been your favorite part of riding?
I just like how it makes all the stress disappear into the wind. Like the sound of the wind in my ears, it just makes the voices in the head just be quiet. The stress relief that comes with riding.
Absolutely.
What I ride for.
So what about you?
Same, man. And her voices happen to be the same as mine if you've watched her videos, But anyway, they're crazy, they're nuts. So I like to drown those guys out as much as I can.
Those of you who haven't watched the Kitchen Ash videos, you've got to watch these videos. You put so much into them, it's crazy. There's so much editing and voiceover, and the acting is great. You even pull your kids into it.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
It takes a couple of weeks to make one, with all the kids. So.
Those are a lot of work. I mean, there's a lot in them. Well, I'll ask you about your favorite recipe later, so start thinking about it now. So we'll get back to it. So, flip side of that, what has been your most frustrating part of riding?
I'm scared of people on their phone. When I'm riding.
People's heads.
I'm always afraid I'm going to get run over every time I leave the house. We live in a pretty big city, and people just don't pay attention.
First thing I learned, and this was back in 1991, was the first time I took a rider's course, and the instructor said, watch people's heads. If you can't see their heads or their eyes, they're not watching you. And if you see somebody in their car, keep looking over, or looking down, or looking around. You want to get around that guy as fast as you can, give him as much room as possible, and get by him. And I started watching heads, and it's true. If somebody starts looking down or looking around, they're going to start weaving, and they have no idea you're there. They're on autopilot. Yeah. They're not going to even see you.
Mine would probably be traffic, which would play into that. Just not getting a ride enough, or having to ride around too much traffic. You know what I mean? I like just taking off, and it don't matter if it's a curvy road or a straight road. If there's nobody on it, that's when I'm happiest.
Yep, me too. I love taking back roads. I just took a road yesterday. I took the bike out just to run it. I had to take it up to Harley and get some spark plugs, and I came back like 3 or 4 hours later. just, and eventually put spark plugs in. Put them in this morning. It was fine. So somebody asked earlier, but Nine Mills is asking about their channel. So there's 2 channels. There's JD and the Queens, and Kitchen Ash, all one word.
It's like KitchenAid, but Kitchen Ash. You know, like KitchenAid mixers, utensils and stuff.
I'll put, Matt, I'll put up some links in the Discord. I'll send you some links. But yep, very entertaining. Good cooking.
Thanks, man. She's a good cook.
Seriously,
dude,
I watched the sausage. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was 150 pounds when we got married. I was 220 last month. And I was 200 the first Christmas, and we got married like in June.
Well, our anniversary was yesterday, so we've been married when we were married 6 months, he had put on 50 pounds.
Yeah. She's a great cook.
That's happiness there.
That is very much happiness.
All right, so what are your plans for the new year? We were talking about gigs and rides you got planned.
Man, this year we kind of made a promise last year. We had a rough year last year. Our daughter went through a lot. We had some scares, you know, with we had a cancer scare with our young daughter last year. So we had some family stuff. So we kind of took a step back and said, this year, man, we're going to just do stuff to spend time with each other, you know, and focusing on like just doing stuff with the family, camping. We've been camping a lot. We got a lot of camping trips planned, you know, doing the videos together as a family. We've got quite a few of those works, you know, and playing a bunch of music as a family.
Yeah, we've been playing a lot here lately.
And finding her a bigger bike, because I don't want her still in mine. I like
it. That's good motivation.
Yeah. And mostly just, we really didn't plan on like a bunch of meetups until I hit Forgotten Angels. And I was like, man, that's kind of the healing after a rough year like that, and seeing your daughter go through so much and stuff, man, meeting all those people down there. That was healing for me, you know. So then when we got back home, I made a video about it, put it on YouTube, about the trip, you know, because it's one I had never done a really motor vlog video or nothing like that. So I was like, man, I'm gonna do one this time. And I didn't expect the positive feedback, you know, I got from that, and that was really cool. And it makes you feel like like family to a lot of people that, you know, bikers have always been that way my whole life, in my opinion, you know. And so focusing more on that stuff is probably the biggest plan for me anyway. You?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So did I send you the link to get into the Weirdos Assembled, and to get into my Discord and Two Goons Discord? If I haven't, I will.
I don't know. I'm in one, I know. I'm one or the other, but I don't know if I'm in both.
So we do a lot of meetups. We just about do a meetup every other month. So we go to a campground. Like next month we're going up to Ohio. Last month we went to Tennessee. We went to the TMMR, but half of us ended up not going to TMMR. We just stayed at the campground outside at Twin Lakes, or the land between the lakes, right outside Hurricane Mills. So we had a ball. And then there's another one up in Jersey. Actually, in Jersey this week. Is it next week? There's one up in New Jersey. We do them all over the place, so it's gonna be.
I met so many cool people down there, man. That was probably one of the coolest. You meet a lot of. I don't want to sound bad, but you meet like when you play music, you're always fighting a drunk that's trying to get on stage, or you're always fighting somebody, you know, or dealing with somebody that's trying to, you know, she plays in the band. My other daughter does too, or my daughter does too. So you're always fighting, you know, somebody about your daughters or something like that, you know, or arguing, or if you're playing in the bars anyway. And so when you, like we kind of stick toward the car shows of the family, more, you know, environments, you know, But meeting those people, that changed so much this year. We took a step back from playing as much music so we really wanted to do more of that, you know. So that's cool. I'll definitely be checking those out.
Heck, you can surely get up on stage at Forgotten Angels if you go down there. I mean, they'll let any fool get on stage there because I've been on there a few times. So yeah,
that was cool. We had that campfire the night I was the second night I was there or something. They had a little campfire. We passed the guitar around and stuff. It was very cool, man. I think it was me and Randall Rides was playing a lot of stuff, and then that guy that Dirtbag Adventures, you know, I'm talking about Joe's his name, I
think I know him. There was a bunch of us got inside the Yingling hut, inside the little shed where we eat, where the food is.
Yeah.
And we'll sit in the corner and they'll all play guitar and we'll just sing, and there'll be 4 or 5 people in there playing guitars, and we'll just sing, beat on the table. It's a blast.
I know. I wrote I thought it was the stupidest thing in the world. It's the song called it Hillbilly Wizards or Hillbilly Weirdo, something. Anyway, you probably heard it, but I was like, I sent it to me and Corey became kind of friends, about like me and you know.
Yeah.
And I sent it to him, and I was like, hey, this is something stupid you could use in a video. You know, it's free use or whatever. And which it is, if anybody wants it, all you gotta do is get a hold of me. But anyway, he sent it back and said, dude, you have to post that. And I said, I ain't posting this. I said, take this with you. And he's like, no, you have to. And anyway, I did. And dude, that was kind of the beginning of how cool I started figuring out how cool everybody was, you know?
Yeah, we're a bunch of nuts, and we like eclectic stuff. We're eclectic. That's the word for it. That's the fancy word to say we're just really weird.
Yeah.
But, we enjoy things probably because our friends do it more than we would normally would, but that just makes it cooler when our friends do it. So
that's as when music, it's better when you're like, it's worth it if your kid says, hey, I like this song, you know. Like if your friend says it's what that makes it all worth it. Doesn't even matter if you get famous or nothing like that, you know.
Yeah, when you can share it, it makes it that much special.
Yeah.
Someone is asking for links to your channel, so I'm gonna throw them down in the.
We got a kid trying to crash our interview here.
Oh, we can let it. It's fine. All right, there's the link to Kitchen Ash. Give me 1 second.
I think it's cool too, like the Discord thing. Like I'm not a big gamer, you know, and I'm just figuring out the Discord thing. So bear with me if I don't know. I may not even be looking at it right, but
no, you're
like I'm figuring out, how to talk to people about everything. You can, man, that is the coolest.
We do everything in there. So I put both links down. The first one is Ashley's, the second one is Josh's. So his is mostly music, and hers is just a lot of stuff, but a lot of cooking. So I recommend you go to the Possum Tacos one because that's the first one I saw, and I got hooked. And then the biscuits and gravy one, there's a lot of violence in that. I'll warn you now. Disclaimer. That was also funny.
I don't remember violence to it.
With the knives?
Oh yeah, you beating the
Sean almost stabbed you with a trident, man.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Was that what it is sometimes, you know?
I made that first. She actually made her first cooking video, you know, and I'm not very tech savvy, so I was getting my daughter to help me edit it, you know, and I know how to record music, so I done a voiceover, just like the stupidest. I thought it was just ignorant, you know, and she's like, no, we're leaving that. I was like, no, you can't leave that. Same thing with that song. You can't leave that. She left it, and everybody loved it even more, I reckon.
So, Ashley, for you, seriously, what is your favorite meal to cook when you have time and you have everything to do it?
Hmm. Probably like chicken parmesan, like homemade with the cutlets, and make homemade Alfredo sauce and homemade marinara sauce. That's really good. But we're a meat and potatoes family. We like steak and baked potato or pot roast or
We are too. Cutlets
you know,
take a long time. You got to beat the crap out of the chicken, and that just takes forever. And I'll do it. Well, just like chicken fried steak, it takes a long time because you just got to beat the hell out of it. And we got to tenderize it.
yeah,
We got one of those crank tenderizers for the chicken fried steak, and it just takes a long time and it's messy as hell. So it's
Yeah.
easier just to
yeah,
cook it on the grill and make a potato with it. But breakfast is my big thing. I like making homemade hash brown casserole. I like making pancakes. I like making eggs and biscuits and gravy. I do not get as extravagant on my biscuits and gravy as you do, but I love biscuits and gravy.
She
we
makes them pretty much from scratch. So
yeah. Well, it's just more economical when you've got 4 kids to make everything from homemade and always have all the bits and bots to cook a homemade meal
No, I get it.
versus something
Now I'll make my
just
roux for gumbo from scratch,
hmm
but if just me and my wife and my daughter, I'll make a packet of white gravy. It's just quicker. But
yeah,
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 if I'm making gumbo now, if it's a cold day and I'm making gumbo, I'll make my own roux. It's a rule,
yeah.
and my family would kill
yeah.
me if I didn't. So it's a thing.
But that gumbo, it's not the same if you try to buy like some type of mix.
Oh
If
no,
you make your roux from scratch, it's 100 times better.
I've tried to use the jar. Not even close. You
Not
can't.
the
You
same.
can't.
Not the same. We're having chicken and dumplings tonight, and if I was to like
I'll be out
try and
there.
shortcut that meal, no, it's there's gonna be some angry kids and some angry husbands, and they'll shortcut that.
No, I do use and I can't remember the brand, but it's some lady's name for the dumplings. I do like to
Mary
buy.
Beats, they're like frozen.
Yes, I love
No,
those.
that one's got in this household, man.
Well, I have to get your dumpling recipe because my daughter loves cooking, and if she has a
Mhm.
chance to make something, she will. She loves doing recipe and stuff from scratch. She likes making
Okay.
pies from scratch and cakes from scratch and brownies from scratch, and
Mm.
so I will.
Okay.
We
Well,
will
we'll
swap
we'll work
recipes.
on a chicken and dumpling video.
Okay, do it. I'll be waiting.
Give us about a week. We made we got some. I met Dwight Smokums. You know him, don't
Yeah.
you? Met him down at the camp out. That dude's cool as all get out. But he's
He
I
said,
got some of his rub. You know,
mhm.
we made this whole video about his rub and had all this funny stuff in it. And I get to the computer to put it all together, and the files are corrupted or
Oh,
something,
nice.
and I lost 90% of the video. So I couldn't put it together, but I had a whole thing planned for that. But I'm going to do another one because I still got more of that. But
Well,
Yeah.
that's all. I can't cook at all. I can smoke something on the grill, but I can't cook like she can.
yeah. Some stuff like I like to make a butt. I used to when I first got my smoker. I got a 3-part smoker. It had a wood part and then a charcoal part and then a gas part, and I just loved to make butts. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it takes 8-9 hours to really do a
Yeah.
good butt. So I get
Mhm.
impatient sometimes, and when I went back to nights, I was like, I don't have time for this anymore.
Yeah.
So
We've
I started
actually
putting
got a
on the power
nicer
pot.
outdoor kitchen than we do an indoor kitchen.
Yeah, I thought about getting a pellet grill or something, or some kind of like a green egg or a red egg from Cons, but yeah, that's future stuff. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
so back to motorcycles. If you could go anywhere
Yeah.
in the world, I get so carried away. I'm like a squirrel. I see something shiny and I jump for it.
These are for getting to know each other, man.
If you could go anywhere on a motorcycle today, you start from anywhere and ride to anywhere, where would it be?
I want to see the West Coast.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see like the ride to go down to like I-10 or whatever. Just
Go all the way.
yeah, Mexico, like New Mexico, and down that way and see all that, and then come up California through along the highway there. I've never been out there. I want to do that so bad.
That's definitely a bucket list trip for both of us. We just wait till the kids get a little bit older so that we can make on a long time.
Yep,
But
yep. You know what's
it'll be
crazy is
probably a 2 or 3 week ride for us to do that.
Be longer than that,
well,
sure.
I used to make trips and go. Okay, well, I'm making a trip to this place and I know someone there and I might stay with them there or I might not. Since I've
Yep.
gotten into shade excursions and the weirdos and the all the rap star stuff, I've met so many people that they literally have somewhere I can stop like every 50 miles, and I know somebody.
Yep.
Now that's the hard
Yep.
part. When I went to Ohio last time, um, I literally know somebody like every couple of hours on the trip up there. There's somebody that's there, and they're like, "Well, you need to stop by and see me." And it's like I used to like look for places because I needed to stop. Now it's like I have to pass on people offer me to stay because there's so many people that I know
Yep.
around the states now. So
That's opened up since I went to Forgotten Angels. I bet that's tripled. Like the people I met that would say, hey man, you can hang out here, you can camp here, you can stay here. That's probably tripled since March.
oh yeah.
Just people I knew,
Yep, I have a huge meetup, and it started as a joke. This meetup that's up in Ohio. It's the meet Rainy Rider. I made it try to sound very ambiguous or whatever, and I thought, yeah, there'll be like 4 or 5 people there, and it'll be all people I know. But there's going to be so many people now that I either met and I don't really know yet, or that want to meet me that follow my channel, and I didn't know there's that many people out there. It's kind of
yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
So this is going to be really
Yep.
cool, and I'm looking forward to this. So Dry Heat Doug said he's going to try to make it there. That's crazy. But yeah, you make so many friends doing this and being in. If I've gotten one thing from doing the channel, I've just got to meet so many great and interesting people and make so many friends.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
Yep.
nuts. So what about you? Where would you go? What would you do, Ashley?
Well, definitely what he was saying, the Golden Coast, but I would also like to go into Mexico, but not on our box, from what I've heard.
I heard her. Yeah.
15 years ago, I wanted to go to Copper Canyon in Mexico, and now it's like it's gonna be. I know people that still go to Mexico and go a couple hours into Mexico, or they fly in to the southern part. But now it's like you just can't drive in there anymore unless you're
That's
going in a
what
huge group. It's crazy.
My bike's a little too. I didn't set out that way, but it's a little too flashy to be.
It's a little flashy.
It definitely doesn't look like something I would own if you know my regular bikes.
I've definitely moved up in the last from the bikes I've had when I was in my 20s to now. So
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
Anybody got any questions? Throw them down in the comments. We're getting down to our last. We got like 7 questions. So, have you inspired anyone to ride or wrench on their own bikes?
I think we definitely. Josh inspired me, and then I think our oldest daughter will be a rider when she gets. Like she had the moped, and I think she was a little rough when I got rid of my bike. So she helped Josh build a shovel head. So I think that she definitely has the bug.
Yeah.
She likes to be on the back. She likes her.
And our son. I think I've inspired my kids more than anything.
Okay.
My son's crazy though.
So the oldest one, what is she gonna buy for her? Has she got her first bike yet?
No, she just turned 16, so she's driving. She got her first car, but she's kind of preoccupied on that right now. But she's all she's got to do is say the word. She did start out driving at 14 on the moped though. She rode the moped everywhere, So that's why we figure she'll be a rider. She loves being on 2-wheel.
Okay. If you could tell a new rider one thing that you had to learn the hard way, what would it be?
Oh man!
Always stop for gas and to pee if you're a female.
If you're a male, take every opportunity you can.
Yeah, I would just tell them not to. I think the most important thing I've learned is not to trust that they see you.
Yep.
That anybody sees you. Just always be, that assume they don't see you. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, always get a chance. Someone once told me, treat every driver out there like they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
And
that's pretty much the
yeah.
Yep.
And to Ashley's question, always take every chance you can to get gas and to stop and pee, because you never know when the
She
next
run-
opportunity will be.
You had that problem though. You're not Nightster is just a Sportster, so you know that well. You run out of gas every time you drive it.
Well, now I have a 5 gallon tank on it, so it's like
Yeah.
it goes forever. And then the big bike has a 7 gallon tank, which was a change when I got the BMW. So when I got the first BMW, we took to Kentucky. Before that, I had a Honda Sabre, and it was good
Yeah.
for about 100 miles, 125 miles. And when I went from that to I got a R1100, all of a sudden it went from having a 4 gallon tank to having a 7 gallon tank. It had a 7 gallon tank too. And then all of a sudden, I used to, every time I stopped for gas, that's when I'd get something to drink and I'd stop to go to the bathroom. When I got the BMW, it was like, well, I'm not out of gas, I'm not near out of gas, and I got to stop. I got to stop now. So it's funny how your body just starts getting used to the bike you're on.
Yeah.
So
Mine does. My Softail, it's only a 96-inch motor, so it gets pretty good gas mileage. But I think it's got a 5 gallon. I think it'll go about 180 miles. Where you that's pushing it. Like you got to be ain't seen a gas station to push it that far, but about 150 miles is all I want to sit on one stretch anyway. So me and it's about the same. We get gas about the time I need to get off and walk around it.
Oh yeah, and I've had those stretches where you had to take a detour. I actually did coming out of Alabama. Actually, it took me on a detour. So my plan was to go through Birmingham, go through Montgomery, and head down towards Mobile. But it steered me off the road, and I ended up going there through cornfields and soybean fields, and I popped out in Tifton, Georgia.
Yep.
And I literally it had told me I had 22 miles in the tank for the last probably 40 or 50 miles. I was ready to run out at any minute, which tells you they kind of lie on these gas gauges sometimes to make you stop. But
I pushed when I come back from Forgotten Angels in March was the furthest I pushed. I made it into Birmingham from my last gas stop, and I think it was 194, and I ran out when I was pulling up to the pump. Like my bike was stuttering, So, yeah.
Yeah, that Sportster does not like to run out of gas. I ran out of gas on the Sportster just as I puttered as I pulled into the gas station, and it burned up my O2 sensor.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, it cooked it. So I just got that fixed. But yeah, never run out of gas. It's a bad thing. Listen to your bike. If it says it needs gas, give it gas.
Yeah, that wasn't a good thing for me either. I was ready to get home that night though.
That
it was like
a deal breaker.
Oh, and it was cold.
Yeah. And when I got to Alabama, for some reason it was 20 degrees.
It's freezing rain.
It was like 70 in Florida,
It did that on my time back. So I was actually I was late getting out of Florida, and so I decided, well, instead of going back through Montgomery, I'm going to just go through Atlanta and cut about an hour off the trip. And that was a huge mistake, but either way, yeah, I left.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I hit Atlanta, and the temperature dropped from like 45 degrees down to 25.
Yeah.
And then it was like, what the hell just happened? I mean, quick too, as soon as the sun went down. So if you could buy any bike right now, but you had to own it for the rest of your life, you wouldn't have to ride it every day, but you could never sell it, what would you get?
I want one of the BMW adventure bikes, but I want both of us to have them.
Yeah, she likes those. She likes like the Pan Am and all that. I like them too, but I'm only like 5'10", I think, and I was always worried about riding one, but I haven't got to be on one much to know if I could. I guess I was just worried about the height of them,
Well, they're all the same height when you get moving.
Yeah, well, once you get going. And then I've seen a guy, I seen a girl that was like 4 foot tall riding what was that? It's an adventure bike, but it's like the cheaper one. I can't remember. They sell them locally anyway. She was riding one around town, and she would jump off the bike and have her knee up on the seat and catch the bike and stuff. And then I felt really bad for like I couldn't ride one, as tall as I am compared to her, because she was doing it every day. But if I had to pick one to have the rest of my life, it'd probably be a Lowrider S, man. I really like those bikes.
Okay. Fair questions. So, flip side of that question, what's a bike you would ride just once, knowing you could never afford it, and once you got off of it, you could never get back on it again?
Sugar Bear Chopper.
Yeah.
A Sugar Bear Chopper?
You talking about like you talking about a production bike or just any bike?
Any bike. Any bike.
Yeah. It'd probably be like the Captain America bike from the Easy Rider movie for me.
That's definitely a good one.
She's seen one of, I'm sure you know who he is, but Sugar Bear, you know, builds those long choppers, and she's seen one time and just was in love with that. But I think I'd ride the Captain America bike or either one, the Dennis Hopper or Peter Fonda's bike, and just to say I did it.
I can't remember the other bike. Was it Gold something? It's less pop.
I don't remember. The red one?
I can't remember what it was called. I know somebody in the crowd does. What was Dennis Hopper's bike?
Yeah, it had the flames on it, didn't it? They were both fan heads, weren't they?
I cannot remember. Probably.
Well, we live kind of close to Barber's, you know, we're a couple hours from it. And they have, I don't think it's the real one. I think the guy said it was a copy of it. But they have an Easy Rider, like Peter Fonda's bike down there, a display. And man, dude, that just brings back a lot of memories.
I had read somewhere that they had like 7 of the Captain America bikes.
Yeah, Captain.
And they ended up having them all over the place. Aaron's asking about secrets. No, Aaron, no one's like secrets, so we actually get tired of secrets. So, pass on. Aaron's keeping a secret from all of us, and he's kept it so long now and played it so long that nobody really cares anymore. So, yes, nobody cares.
Is that the dude in the Discord that got a Pan Am? Oh,
yeah. Oh, I don't know what he got. He said it, and it's no secret. I mean, he either did it or he didn't, and now he's just messing with everybody. So it's like, okay, fine, whatever, man.
Well, he's gonna punch me next time.
No, no one even knows. He told everybody he was looking at the Pan Am, but he just hadn't told anybody if he bought it or not. So he may.
Yeah,
who knows?
Dude, there's so many cool bikes and that, all that I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Seeing a few, I don't want to say what I've seen because I don't know if I can, but some of those bikes they were showing pictures of were awesome, man. And that'd probably be a good one. One of those was that the Triumph. What's that Triumph they make? Josh had one.
Oh, the Rocket.
Josh got one. Yeah.
Rocket 3.
Yeah, that would be a cool one to ride too.
Yeah, they had so you've been to Barber too. We went a while back, and they had so many cool bikes in there. And I could just imagine myself on every bike in there. I'd look at the bike. Oh, I could ride that bike. Oh, I bet I could ride that bike.
There, yeah.
Those are cool. Yeah, there were way too many cool bikes in there.
Yeah, that's an awesome museum. That's the only bike museum that I've been to personally. Like, but everybody I know that's been to Wheels Through Time and all these other ones, they say that that does have something to compare it to. They all say the same thing. That's one of the best museums around.
And I've gone to the one up in Ohio, the AMA museum there, and they had cool bikes there. And but it was like, I think when I was there, they had the Arlen Ness exhibit going, and there were just such cool things in there. But that Barber Museum has them beat hands down. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like it, and I've been to a lot of motorcycle museums. Anyway, so. Ash, did you answer that one too, or did we just pass you up again? I am so sorry. It's because you keep
no, it's okay. Yeah, the Sugar Bear Chopper was my pick one.
All right. What is one thing most people may not know about you?
Oh, there's a lot. I guess everybody knows I play music and ride motorcycles. I have really bad health problems. I guess that would be one thing most people don't know about me. I've been in some pretty bad situations, accidents and stuff where I had some concussions and some bad stuff happen, and probably wasn't supposed to be doing as good as I said that.
Yeah. We waited for this.
Yeah.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
Is that why you can't remember that she tried to stab you?
Yeah. I've I haven't beat them, but I've learned to live with some pretty substantial stuff. So I think that's probably something most people don't know about.
Yeah, Aaron says he got the Rocket 3. If he did, that's a very uncomfortable trip all the way down to Forgotten Angels from Ohio. I doubt
No
it.
stuff.
I doubt he got it. If he did, he is gonna regret taking a trip from Ohio on that bike.
He's doing good at whatever he done. Whatever he got, he's doing good at building suspense for it.
I think he got he was gonna get the Lowrider ST, and that was what he wanted for the longest time. So I really doubt he got a Pan America.
Was it a white lowrider at Forgotten Angels with like a FXR fairing or something like that on it?
I think
you remember that?
I think that's what Skittles' bike.
That was, in my opinion, one of the coolest bikes down there. And then some guy came in. I think it was the last full day I was there on a chopper, like an Evo chopper, and that was probably the coolest, one of the coolest bikes down there too. But there's so many, man. Everybody had a cool bike at Forgotten Angels. Even there was Rebels that I wanted, and wanted to get and ride and stuff. And then you see everything from a chopper to Pan America to BMW to whatever you could.
And just about anybody would let you ride their bike.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, take off, go ahead, have fun.
There was a ton of cool bikes though, and cars. There were some cool cars down there.
There were some cool cars there. Doug wants to know, after the first time you played on stage, when the gig was over, what did you do right after?
Oh, the first time I played in a bar, I picked my amp up because some drunk guy knocked it over. But the first time I played on stage, man, I would say I don't know if I should admit this, but I used to play in church when I was a kid and didn't have a lot to do, where we were at. So I'd play music in a church in like a bluegrass band. And I used to have such bad nerves that I would sneak a flask of tequila in my guitar case.
In church?
Yeah. Well, I would drink it before I went in. But anyway, I used to have such bad anxiety about playing, and so probably I would say I don't drink a lot, but I would say probably took a drink.
I know that's what I done after playing our first gig. I was like, I just need a shot.
Right on.
Yeah. It's a lot like when you got a cool motorcycle when you play music. It's a lot like when you got a cool motorcycle. You would think that it gets the girls, but it's usually a sausage fest that comes talks to you after after you play and everything. It's usually just I don't have any really good rock and roll stories, to be honest with you, other than that guy getting drunk and pushing my amp over the top. And there was a guy that tried to play drums.
Yeah, the guys at the bar that always want to come and take our instruments and play.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bluegrass. Okay, so I think he's asking which instruments do you play? Bluegrass.
I just play bass, and I can do a little bit on the drums, but Josh plays mandolin and guitar and bass, and he can play everything. He's really talented.
All right, so what songs are we gonna jam to at the next Forgotten Angels?
Well, we had had fun with Freebirds.
Yeah, Freebirds is always fun, and that's good for the Biker Brotherhood.
We're waiting right now. She may not know this, but we're waiting right now. We got a big car show we play every year that we kind of help some friends of ours in town put on, and they own the local car parts store. We're kind of waiting on them to secure the date, when that is, because I know when Forgotten Angels in, so I'm waiting to make sure it ain't the same weekend. But as long as it's not, we talked about getting a hold of, like David and them, and driving down and maybe playing, if we could or something. But
you would definitely be welcome on the stage at Forgotten Angels.
Yeah, they had some cool talent there when I was there. There was some guy that came from Nashville that played. I really enjoyed listening to him. I think he was the only one that got to see, there was a band the night before I got there, I think. But But I look forward more to all the people that get up and sing karaoke, man.
The karaoke was awesome. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys. So for the wedding, you probably saw all the people taking their shirts off, and
Yeah,
there's a backstory to that. So at the wedding, um, the one before that in October, there was a guy. We call him Florida Man. During the wedding, this dude was running around with flip flops on, cut off shorts, no shirt, just cruising around all over the place. And it seems like every time they were taking a wedding picture or a video, this dude showed up in the back. So, and Cindy made a big, she made a big joke about it because she actually took her wedding pictures, and like the picture where the bride is staring out of a picture window,
yeah.
they photoshopped him into the window, her staring out at him out of the window. So she was like, yeah, in honor of Florida Man, everybody that gets up on stage has to take their shirts off. So that's what that whole gig was about. Everybody got up on stage, they took their shirts off.
I can't remember who it was.
That sounds like fun.
One of the guys in the Discord we were talking about if we met at the Forgotten Angels,
Yeah.
And he shared a video that was. I'd seen the video on YouTube, but I didn't. I have a hard time placing channels with faces sometimes, unless I watch a video and can remember it that way. But anyway, he showed a video, and that's all I could think was some dude got on there and like he was singing on stage, and some dude jumped up with his shirt off. And I was like, man, that's a big woman. And then I turned around and it was a dude. I was like, oh, no, never mind, it's a dude.
Yeah, Matt says that dude wore the same shorts and flip flops the whole time he was there for 3 days. It was hilarious. We won't talk bad about the guy because he made the wedding. It was just
dude. He obviously was having time of his life, man.
He was. It was awesome. What is the one thing you would never take a road trip without?
Oh, probably my toolkit, my bike.
Water.
That's a good one.
Water for me.
I always go with rain gear. Always get extra water, and the toolkit, and a flat kit, and a plug kit.
Yeah.
The one thing.
If I could only take one thing, it would probably be the toolkit because I broke down enough that I needed the toolkit more than I did. I guess I could ride with it, I don't like to. I usually always pack a rain gear and a toolkit and then like a little jump box and then some way to fix a tire, But
I always bring a jump box, and when I need it, it's dead.
Yeah.
I always make sure it's charged, and then it's dead.
Yeah.
But the good thing on the Sportster, you can push start it. The BMW, you can't push start. That thing weighs 900 pounds. So you're just kind of.
I said jump box. It's more like it's kind of an all-in-one. One of them USB things you can charge your gear on and all that.
Yep, and those are handy. And that's what I usually end up using it for because, like I said, when I go to actually need to jump start the bike, it's dead. Probably because I've been doing everything else.
Yep.
So you say water, you say toolkit.
Yeah, because I don't want to get dehydrated getting back to town to get some help.
Well, that's actually scary being on a bike and you got to put your legs down and they cramp up or you can't see or you get dizzy. Yeah, so again, take every stop you can. Every time you stop, get something to drink, get gas, and go pee. Every stop.
I got a friend that I've done we spent like a week on the road, a week and a half on the road, something like that. He's like, I think he's 80 now, but I want to say that's 3 or 4 years ago. And he carried mustard everywhere, which I thought was the weirdest thing, but he done that for cramps. He said it was for his legs.
I hear that a lot for people. People that do powerlifting do that a lot. They say mustard.
Yep.
So
he would just we'd stop at a red light. He sucked mustard down for a good. Coolest guy in the world, but it was a quirk that I finally asked him before the end. We'd been on the road for a week. I was like, man,
what's the deal with the mustard?
Just like mustard that much? He's the cool. If you're watching, James, good to see you. But he's one of the coolest dudes in the world. But he was like, no, man, it's for cramp.
I think honey works better for cramps, but I mean, everybody has their thing that works for them. So
yeah,
but definitely water, always water.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah. What is your favorite style of music?
The kind that has music. I listen to everything. The only thing I will not listen to, the list is shorter of the things I won't listen to. So hip hop, Can't stand it. All the
Egg hop. I
new,
just caught that.
the new rap country can't handle it.
Yeah,
I
I'm
even
not
like
big into that.
I like old '80s rap. I like rock. I like Southern fried shit. I was in a ship's band, so we played a lot of Skinner and Golden Earring. And the cool thing about being on a ship's band is you get to, no matter where you go and how bad you are, when you're overseas, you stop at a foreign port, they love you because they just like hearing American music. American rock music is awesome to them.
Yeah.
So
That's what my next question. Do you play an instrument?
I sing and play guitar. I'm not as good as a guitar as I used to be because I got out of practice. I did for me and my daughter. I bought Rocksmith for the Xbox, so we both
Yeah.
have been playing the Rocksmith to get try to. She's actually getting where she's a little bit better than me now. But yeah, I just sing. I'm a singer.
Right on, man. You probably shouldn't admit that Dolly's forgot to meet those people. You're gonna be on stage.
Yeah, you're gonna be
They already
good.
make me get on stage. Yeah, the weirdos already make me get on stage. But I showed my daughter how to play spoons the other day, and she thought that it was always she thought the spoons was a joke. She thought that you didn't
No.
not something people really do. But so I was born in Louisiana, raised in Texas. So
Oh,
my one of my uncles could play the mandolin. He could play bass. He could play lead guitar. He could play the 12 string. He was very good. So I learned a lot of stuff, acoustic from him. And then, of course, then I joined and I bought an electric guitar, and from then it was like, oh, this is what I really like. But
yeah.
I've gotten so out of practice, but every once in a while, and I can play by ear. So I need to get back into it. You motivated me. I got to get back into it.
Right on, man.
But,
When I was at the camp out, I didn't expect like all the. I expected kind of musicians to be there, but then Randall comes out with a guitar, and then there's this really cool dude. I think his name is Shaker OG on Instagram and all that. He comes out with a saxophone and stuff, and I was like, dude, where are all these instruments coming from?
oh yeah,
And so
Mike
it was
Branch
awesome.
plays guitar. Shaker has his. Of course, Randall's there with his guitar. His guitar goes everywhere with him.
Yep.
And
Yep.
And then we have another friend who plays, and we're gonna have a jam session next time. We're gonna have a jam section next time, and it's gonna be awesome.
Yep. Somebody asked me why I didn't bring my guitar. The first thing I thought was, where am I going to put it? And then I get there and see Randall once again, like the lady at the red light. You're like, man, what?
Yeah.
He's got a whole thing. Like, he carried everything. You know what I mean?
He's
and he was a
traveling guy,
really cool dude too. And my next question, do you you're big into bikes? Are you as into cars, or you just are all vehicles or anything like that? Like, are you into models or anything like that?
No, I used to be into cars. Now I do a lot of car maintenance. I do a lot of car maintenance myself. I just taught my daughter how to do the brakes on the car, change the serpentine belt. We did a tune-up, change the spark plugs. So I'm actually good. It's what I do in my civilian life. I'm a maintenance guy, and I do electrical and mechanical. And I've been doing that for, I did it in the Navy. Even after I changed rates, I went into law enforcement. But in the military, when you're in a small unit, even when you're doing your main job, you still have secondary jobs. So I was always the guy who had to take care of generators, and always had to take care of the motor pool, and had to do all the maintenance and stuff. So, but yeah, I love wrenching on stuff. Period.
Yep.
It's easier to work on cars and stuff, or for motorcycles rather, because anything you want to do to fix it up or upgrade it is cheaper, easier, and quicker.
Yep.
So all the stuff I just did on the motorcycle today in the last couple of weeks would have taken me months to do on a car, and I can do it over a weekend on a motorcycle. So it's a lot cheaper hobby. It digs less into your wallet.
As I know you're a military guy, and I know you. Just knowing that, I know you've seen enough to ask this question. If you could give advice to somebody younger than you, starting out in life in general, what would it be?
Don't let anybody tell you can't.
Amen.
And that includes yourself.
Yeah.
Whether you say, and I can't remember who used to say it, but whether you say you can, or if you say you can't, you're right.
Yep. You're right. Yeah.
So the only person who can ever hold you back is yourself.
And I, for one, have actually had possum. Have you?
I have. So what I tell people is, so I grew up in Texas
From
and grew up in
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've ate just about everything. The only thing I've actually ever refused was armadillo because I'm afraid of
Never had
leprosy.
that.
So
Yeah.
the joke is that armadillo is possum on the half shell, but
Yeah.
yeah, armadillo is a possum in full battle armor. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's just too many weird things. Anything with a shell on it, you've got to be very careful about eating, and that includes
Turtle too. Yeah.
turtle too. Yeah, you got to boil the shit out of it. Cool thing about
Yep.
turtle is you can actually cook a turtle in its own shell. I had an
Yeah.
uncle
I've heard that.
who would kill a turtle and actually cook it over a campfire and make sauce piquant in the shell.
Yep.
So it's nothing like
I
you
actually
ever thought
thought
about.
like we don't do it no more, but I used to squirrel hunt a lot when we first got married and stuff. I guess I just grew up doing it, and I always thought squirrel and possum were uh tasted oddly,
They're just rats.
yeah, they're just
Rats.
different types of rats or
Those are
whatever.
tree rat.
But
Yeah,
just
that's no
they
good.
just go around cleaning up the.
But I've never had turtle or armadillo.
Yeah,
I think the wildest thing that I've had's been rabbit. I've never had possum,
so we
regardless of what my
raised
YouTube video says. I've never had possum.
my mom and my stepdad. We lived on a farm. My dad lived on the Gulf in the Gulf of Mexico in Louisiana. My mother and stepfather lived in Texas, so we lived on a pig farm. So we always had pigs, always had rabbits. We'd get one steer a year, and if we wanted to eat anything besides rabbit, steer, and pig, you had to go find it. So we had
Yeah.
to go out
Yeah.
and find, we'd go out and find wild rabbit, which was better than, it's, and I'm sure you know this. Wild rabbit has it's, people call it a gamey taste, but it has a more flavorful taste.
Yep.
Has more flavor in it than regular rabbit. Regular rabbit, to me, if you pen raise it, tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
It's one of the only things you can actually say tastes. The joke is everything tastes like chicken. Rabbit is the only thing that really does taste like chicken.
Yep.
Wild rabbit has a firmer taste to it. Has more flavor to it, to me.
Yep.
But
Wild rabbit it's really good to me. I like that a lot actually.
Yeah. I'd rather have wild rabbit than tame rabbit. It does taste a lot better for your money. I mean,
Even squirrel, if you when we hunt squirrels, like I don't want to say too much, but if you eat squirrel from the city versus catching them out in the forest or shooting them, like
yeah,
hunting them out in the forest, it's a different squirrel. You know what I'm saying? And you can taste it.
I took, when I was in the Navy, I was in Virginia, and I took a girlfriend home for a family reunion, and my family, of course, my stepdad's the kind of guy who, if we had a crawfish boil, he would eat the tails. If we had a visitor, if someone was visiting, he'd suck the heads. Normally he wouldn't, but if there was somebody there that he could gross out, he would. So we went to this family reunion, and it was the only time. So we had people that lived in this place called Caney Head. That places that lived way out in the sticks, really. So she went up to get something, and she was like, she didn't want to eat the raccoon. She didn't want to eat squirrel. She didn't want to eat this. And I was like, well, this is chicken and dumplings. She goes, oh yeah, I like chicken and dumplings. And she went to dip it up, and there was these two little beady eyes staring at her, and she was trying to figure out what it was. And I was like, oh, that's squirrel head. Put it back. And she goes, oh my god. She goes, you guys eat the heads? And I'm like, I'll dip around it. I said I want to avoid.
You are.
Yeah, I said I want it, but yeah, my stepdad's up there with a giant spoon, cracking the heads open, peeling them open, trying to get to the brains. And she goes, "Oh my god, does he do that all the time?" And I was like, "No, he's doing that because you're here. Otherwise, he would not even do it. He'd just dip around it and give it to somebody else." But that's just
we've tried a lot of stuff. I think
yeah, I'm an adventurous eater. I'll try anything you put in front of me. Even like there's a huge Hispanic community where we live, and there's this little taqueria that I'll go in there during lunch in the winter, and they have menudo. That's amazing.
What is menudo?
It's like tongue soup.
Oh wow! I know the little place she's talking about is in the back of a grocery store, it's like a hole in the wall. You never even know. It's the most amazing Mexican food you'll ever have.
They put a lot of good stuff in menudo, more than you. They actually put stomach lining in it too, and so that's why the Mexican people eat it when they're hungover, because the stomach lining, when you eat it, actually coats your stomach and makes your stomach less irpy. So there's your learning lesson.
My favorite, hands down, is gator though. I love alligator.
Yeah, we both like seafood or like anything that comes out of the water.
Yeah, like
shellfish or alligator, shrimp, anything like that.
I can eat 10 pounds of crab legs, no problem.
We always called alligator chicken fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is.
Has the
Chicken fish.
consistency of chicken and it tastes like fish.
yeah,
And we like frog legs.
yeah, yeah. They're fun to cook. I don't know if you've heard. We need to do a video on that.
I actually, it's to me frog leg. I like frog legs. I don't have to like to cook them myself. It's too much work for too little meat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is a lot of work,
But
but
if somebody else is making it, go for
it, yeah, it'll make a good video with the cooking the way they dance.
Always cut the ligaments. That's rule number one. Always cut the ligaments, or we'll jump out of the, and we'll catch your kitchen on fire. So be careful.
good
They will
tip.
jump. They will jump right out of the grease onto you. Anything else around it. All right. So if anybody else didn't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and close this one out. You guys got any closing remarks?
Just just continue whatever happens with any of the campouts because it's the same people, that they're doing these. It might just be branched them, but man, y'all continue all that love, the coolness of it because that is something that I hope that everybody gets to experience it once, at least once. And if you haven't made it out to Forgotten Angels, man, make that happen, because you'll meet some of the coolest people in the world.
Yep. A lot of people make weird excuses to not go, but you have to go because once you go, you will always go back.
You will always be hooked, man. I don't know if we'll always make the fall campouts, but I know we can the springs. The springs are usually always open, but the fall campouts is when we play a lot, stuff like that. So, or that time of year, we're usually pretty busy. But I will be going. Man, I will forever be going to that because that is the coolest and what they do for kids. But being my dad died real young and stuff, and so sharing a lot of the same stories that those boys had down there, that dude, it's just family down there.
Absolutely is. And you're not far from me, so we're gonna have to come visit you.
Yeah,
we may be able to meet up in Birmingham. So we're like what I think we're like 3.5 hours from Birmingham.
So, we're 2 hours from Birmingham, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to meet up sometime and go to because I did not get to see all the museum when I was there. We got there. I had this idea. Yeah, we'll get there at noon. And we'll be able to see everything. We didn't even see a third of it, so I will have to go back. So
yeah,
that could be a cool little thing. Everybody's planning to do it eventually anyway. All the guys in the weirdo meetup. So we'll have to all meet up there and all go together and see the museum one day.
That'll be super awesome.
Yep, I got room at my house, man. And I got a music room if you don't mind sleeping around a set of drums,
I've done it before. All right, guys, don't forget. So, what are your socials?
You can find me as JD and the Queens pretty much on everything. All right, and then you can find her Kitchen Ash.
Kitchen Ash.
All right, I'll add them again at the end. I put them in the chat, but the chat it takes a while for it to come back. I will put them back in the comments where everybody can find their links to see them. Again, I am Rainy Ryder, so like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and our next interview will be Friday. I'm going to be interviewing a couple of great girls who have an awesome, interesting story. If you've never seen, I won't ruin their story because they have an awesome wedding, and I will let them talk about it, what happened afterwards. So
I know who you're talking about, and they are awesome.
They are absolutely awesome. They are very sweet. They're a very cool couple. So until next time, I'm going to have a video out sometime this week. When's your next video going to be out?
Hers will be in probably the end of next week, and I don't have one planned for next week.
Well, now you got to do your. So, do you have a proper little video for the music for the song that you were talking about?
It's
Hillbilly
Wizards and Weirdo. Oh man, what is that called? It's on my channel though. I'll share it on the community page.
I'll share it in the comments for this video, and then put it on the Weirdos Meetup and put it on my page. If you don't have both of ours, I'll send you them again right after this. I'll send them to you.
Hillbilly Tramps and Weirdo Wizards is the name of it.
We're gonna go ahead and close out. Thanks for coming, everybody. Be safe and tune in. Don't be a stranger. If you see us on the road somewhere, make sure you say hi.
Yeah.
Will do.
Bye, everybody.
See y'all.